What is up, Skate Rats? So this title and thumbnail, I guess, is a hair clickbaity, but at the same time, it isn't. So we're talking about Grind Kings again, and proposing the question, was I wrong about them? Now, I do urge you watch to the end of the video before you pass any judgment yourself or make your own opinion about this, because I'm going to share with you my opinion and go from there. Now, from the thumbnail you have already seen, and I'll take a close-up shot in a minute, but my trucks are broken. I've had the trucks for, I believe, 4 weeks now. I believe I've been skating them for 3.5 weeks, roughly. So to see that they're already broken is a huge bummer because it's nothing I did, at least to my knowledge. Because they broke at the bushing cup. They didn't break at the hanger, I didn't over tighten the nuts or stuff like that. They broke in a very odd place. So a few nights ago, I hopped on my board in here to film a long form video because I'm out of them. And with my video part, I don't have as much time to do long form and short form content. So keeping up on it, I've said before, is going to be a bit of a challenge. More or less though, I wanted to warm up and then get a switch tech rail trick. And I was pumping myself up all day to do this. So I get in here, I warm up on the quarter pipe, and I instantly realize that my trucks are a little more loose. Now, if you skate loose trucks, you'll notice your trucks tighten up over time. It's the other way around if you skate tighter trucks. And when I started skating ledges in a more tech way, I tightened my trucks up and forced myself to get used to having tighter trucks. But there is this grace period between tight and medium that I'm okay with. So I hopped on the Mini to warm up a bit and I realized, okay, these are looser than usual, but they're not that bad. I then jumped on the flat bar and I warmed up on the flat bar. And when it then came time to try this switch trick, every time I rolled up, the roll up would feel a little different. So at first I just assumed, okay, my trucks are just loose. Maybe they're, the back truck's a little looser than the front truck, stuff like that. And when I flipped the board over to actually tighten them, that's when I realized that they're broken. So it's kind of a bummer and it kind of hurts me and costs me in some way. But I want to talk about Grind King's perspective first. My heart goes out to Grind King. They are one of the oldest truck manufacturers out there when we're comparing to who's actually left creating trucks. And they went out of business for a long time, and it's just fairly recently that they've come back. These lockers are made in short numbers, like small supply numbers. So my heart goes out to someone who innovated a truck, created, I believe it was 3 prototypes, had, I believe, 10 skaters test all versions of those, and got a product that those 10 testers really backed and loved. And then I believe 50 was made first of that first production run, and Dan Corrigan being one of the ones who got it. And if you guys watch Dan Corrigan, like I watch Dan Corrigan, he abuses his trucks beyond belief with the crazy amount of slappies he does. So the fact that the product held up, I don't believe Grind King would have ever seen this coming, that this would become an issue with some of them. So I've already filmed this video actually twice before, but since then I did speak with Grind King. So I guess some of their trucks have been having this issue. Now, I work in the trades field. I've worked in the trades field for a long time. I deal with metallurgy a lot. To me, it looks like bad casting. It looks like the aluminum was cooled maybe a little too fast, and it created just more of a weak point. So I can't speculate on if it was a design flaw specifically. Maybe it was a little too thin there, and that's what caused it to crack. Or if it is a manufacturer's defect that they forcibly cooled the aluminum maybe a little too fast. I don't know that specifically. If it is the manufacturer's fault, then they may pay for 20, 30, however many trucks to be remade. But Grind King will still have to pay to have them shipped from China to America and then pay, all the importation tax and stuff like that. Then they will have to pay to ship them to anybody who is affected by this issue. So if it's not the manufacturer's fault, Grind King has to pay even more. So my heart goes out to them because whatever profit they made off of me and whoever else this happened to, they got to just take a zero loss there. But I will say this. I I live on the East Coast, they live on the West Coast. So I reached out to them through Instagram just because it's 2025. That seemed like the most logical thing. And at 10 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock p.m. their time, they got back to me within 5 minutes. They asked me to send a couple of photos, which I had no issue sending, and immediately asked me the size of my truck and told me they would get me a pair out as fast as they can. So customer service, fantastic. I did not expect them to answer so fast, especially because I would consider 7 p.m. outside of a business hour. So I wasn't expecting to get answers that night. They also asked for my feedback, and I gave them true honesty, which I will share with you. The first part I've already shared, but the second part, which does affect me, I shared with them too. But that's kind of where the conversation ended. We talked a little bit about the trucks themselves. They asked my size. Now, my Instagram handle is my name, and I guess in theory, I'm most likely the only Cody Powell who has ordered Grind King lockers, but they didn't give me a time frame on when they would send new ones out, because I will say that's what they told me, was they'll send me a new pair. But they didn't give me a time frame on that. They didn't ask any more information, like maybe an order number, or they didn't ask any information of my address or anything like that. And this is where things become a little sucky for me. So I was order 426th out of 500 trucks made for production run 1. Production run 2 wasn't releasing until like mid-April. So I was part of like the pre-sale for them, meaning that in theory, 3 weeks from now would be the soonest I could possibly get a hand on them. And I think that's why they asked me my size, because I'm gonna guess that they have a few sitting on some shelves somewhere, and that if I named the size they had, I would have gotten them faster. But I'm gonna also assume, due to the lack of response, 8.5 is a size they may not have. So I'm gonna give them time. I'm not going to berate them every few minutes, trying to get an answer out of them, because that's definitely not what you do when you want to have a company also work with you on issues like this. But I'll give them probably 4 days to a week before I reach back out and just say, hey, no rush. I appreciate you guys willing to warranty something that doesn't have a warranty. Can I get a time frame? But how does this affect me? Well, the trucks technically are still skatable, but tech ledge tricks, not gonna happen. I went out to a street spot to film for my part in hopes that maybe I could still kind of work along with it. And it took me 15 tries to just do a crooked grind. Now, if you guys know anything about me, in the past year, I've done a couple thousand crooked grinds. Every now and again, maybe a ledge is sticky. I'll mess up my body weight. I don't think in the past 6 months I've ever missed 14 in a row. So when I did start actually trying the tech trick, having that roll up feel different and also having the pinch feel different, it just didn't happen. And to add to that a little bit, which really has nothing to do with Grind King, that shot my confidence. I ended up skating a different spot at the same place. And it was a spot really aimed towards my skill set. And I was not able to land a trick I've done hundreds of times because my confidence just did not exist. I ended up eating it. The bones in my left foot are killing me right now. I spent hours. I got very frustrated. But once again, that has nothing specifically to do with Grind King. So this puts me in an odd predicament. Do I continue to skate these lockers until the new ones show up, but I can't do any tech ledge tricks? I have to do other tricks in my part. I have to specifically go to tricks I planned on doing later, like transition tricks, and doing those now. That's option A. Option B is I go out of my way and I purchase a new set of trucks. And not only that, I'll have to purchase, if I buy Thunders, because maybe I want to go cheap and I am used to Thunders, I'll have to purchase like 1/8-inch riser pads, because as I said in the previous video, these trucks stand taller. And now I've spent weeks training my body to understand the popping points and everything of that taller truck. So I got to spend like $65, $70 to continue skating at the consistent level I have been. And by the time I kind of get used to Thunders again, do the lockers show up? So I'm very appreciative that they didn't just tell me to pound sand. Now, at the same time, they have not sent trucks out to me yet. at any point from now in the future, they could tell me to pound sand. There is nothing illegal about that. Now, we're all skaters, and I hope that they wouldn't do that. And I don't believe they would do that. They seem like really nice guys. The past couple of days, I really haven't had time to watch YouTube. So between today and tomorrow, I do want to peruse their YouTube channel a little bit and see if they actually touch or talk about this going on. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if I find a video with them referencing it and their plan about it, I'll share that plan with you maybe in the next video. It's not going to be a full excerpt like this, but just a small clip. I just want to let you guys know, though, what's happening with the best trucks in the world when they're not being the best trucks in the world. So my opinion, so far, they've been very great about it. And I really hope my opinion does not change about that. But I need to figure out what to do. And the few friends who I've talked to and they know about this keep going, well, Cody, don't you have old trucks? Yes, I have old trucks. There are a reason they are old trucks. My Thunders are ground down to the point where the kingpin sticks up over a 1/4 inch past the hanger. That is not a good setup for a tech ledge setup. But most likely I'm going to end up having to buy trucks, and it's kind of crappy. But I'm going to look at it on the bright side because I wanted a dark slide specific type board and a Primo slide specific type board. So I guess I would have needed some trucks for that maybe anyway, even though I just planned on using the old Thunders I had because there's no grinding involved in that. But anyway, getting off topic. I'm going to end the video here, guys. There is no skating in this video because I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my trucks. I don't exactly know. Sunday, I am going to try to go back to that street spot and see if I can still pull off. Because I'll say this. I'm going to show a close-up before the video ends of these, but like the trucks are still technically usable. I can't pull them out fully, but it's kind of sketchy. I don't know. You'll see. So on my front truck, it's not that bad. It is just a single crack, but obviously still makes this looser. On my back truck, though, I am missing that piece entirely. Now, once again, like I said, I can't pull it from the pivot cup, but it's definitely way looser than normally I would skate it. So I think I'm going to push them until they fully break, but we'll see. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Next time, I'll definitely be back with skating. I don't know if I'm going to miss the next upload, but do remember that we are back to one video a week, or as best as I can do. This video part to me is way more important. It kind of commemorates my 15 years of skating and my 10 years on YouTube. So I want to put a lot of effort toward this, but I'm going to do my best not to miss an upload. But as always, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, guys. Have a great day. Please hit the like button. That really helps me out. Keep pushing forward, guys.